feel fantastic, and I never felt as good as how I do right now, except for maybe when I think about...
Ah! Oh, what the hell? Oh, I remember going to the doctor and getting some medicine. What day is it? Oh. Hello?
Tommy, where you been?
Oh, I don't know, man. I've been in a coma, apparently.
The Saints traded Jimmy Graham and Kenny Stills.
Wait, what?
Whatever you do, don't go outside.
Don't go outside? Greetings and salutations. I'm your boy Kami the Faded Saint, and this is Limited Series. So, we're all Nathan Fillion fans here, right? Does anyone happen to remember that thing that he did after Firefly? No, not Slither. That would be Drive, which premiered on Fox on April 15th, 2007. Drive was an interesting bird in that it was produced by Tim Minear, you know, the other guy that put out Firefly, and the premise was, well, different. It revolved around an illegal underground cross-country race in which all of our characters had been sponsored in. You'll notice I didn't say entered, as that particular thing is a plot point that adds to the show. An interesting premise, mystery, intrigue, a cross-country race, different concept, and on Fox? What could possibly go wrong with this? Well, let's find out. We're going to go ahead and dive right into Drive, Episode 1, The Starting Line.
There are 500 million cars worldwide, over half in the U.S. alone. And for as long as there have been cars, there has been the race. Secretly moving across America's roads and highways, it may be happening around you now. So the next time some jerk cuts you off on your way to work, give him some slack.
That's not ominous or anything. But it does put us right into the action as we see Nathan Fillion in his beat-up pickup racing someone, and we get a flashback.
When was the last time you spoke to your wife?
Right before I left the shop, I called her to let her know I was coming home.
As the lettering tells us, this is Alex Tully, and he's being questioned by Detective Early here about the abduction of his wife. No, seriously, the character's name is Detective Early.
Does that seem right to you?
So, we go through all the tropes of a wife kidnapped, blaming the husband getting over-emotional, the detective not buying it, and it's very by-the-book plot building and... Oh God! And we're teleporting to a hospital, and Wendy Protakis here, played by Melanie Linsky, is in labor. And now she's out of labor, and about to go home. Though she really doesn't seem like she wants to, they kind of hint that her husband Richard may be abusing her and... Ah! Stop that!
He was my old man, right?
So now we're in prison, where Winston Salazar, played by Kevin Alejandro, is getting out. He is openly wondering who sprung him, and he pauses when there's an ominous phone among his belongings, but then just leaves. He calls his dad because he figures that's who paid his bail, but...
Mr. Salazar's not available. May I take a message?
Yeah, sure. Tell him I said thanks, that I got the phone, and I guess he'll just call me on it whenever he wants.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, you know what? Tell him he could have put some cash with it, too.
Upset after the call, Winston goes to toss the phone when... Now that's coordination. I'd explain the next part, but it's best to just listen for yourself as it sets the tone.
Hello?
Gotta hand it to you, Alex. You've got willpower. Others would have ripped that box open first chance they got.
Who is this? Where's Catherine?
Listen closely. I'm about to make you an offer. One that could change your life. But you must follow instructions to the letter or risk losing this opportunity. You will not have time to consider. You will not have to think. Only to act. For action now is what is required. In the next 15 minutes, you must be in your car and on the road. You will drive to Key West, Florida. It is essential that you drive. You may not fly. You may not take a train. You must arrive in a vehicle. You're going to the Wayfarer Hotel. Proceed directly to the Ponce de Leon Ballroom. Only there will you find the answers you seek. The moment of decision is upon you. If you're not on the road in the next 15 minutes, we'll know. If you contact anyone, we'll know. If you go to the police, we'll know. And you'll never hear from us again. You get all that?
Yeah, I get it.
Start your engine.
And we're off and driving. Oh, that was quick. We pick up with Alex showing up to the hotel, and everyone is leaving. Looks like Alex was late. He wanders in and meets this guy whom he asks about the location of his wife. The guy gives him some smug non-answers.
Mr. Tully, the PowerPoint's put away, the PA system is shut off. I've snapshot my satchel. Do you really expect me to go through all this again solely for your benefit?
I wonder how this smug strategy is going to work out for him. About as well as you'd think.
What is going on is a race. A secret, exclusive, and illegal cross-country road race. That's why you've been invited here. First prize is $32 million. What? Tax-free?
No.
Yes. Those people you passed, they're your competition.
Am I supposed to believe any of this?
No. I admit, without the PowerPoint, it does seem a little far-fetched. But if it is true, and you refuse to compete, you'll never know what else might be waiting for you at the finish line.
Now keep that part, what's waiting for you at the finish line, just in the back of your mind there. It's relevant to some of the other characters. So, in the hotel, everyone is in a mad scramble to get to their cars and get out. Here's Marine Rob Lard and his wife Ellie, and we get bumped past on to Susan, Lee, and Ivy, and passed off to Creeper Guy, and then pan over to... Wait. Is that?
And this fit better, honey. I'm sorry.
It is! That is Emma Stone. I had forgotten this was the first time she had gotten a regular series credit. She's playing Violet Trimble, daughter of John Trimble, and everyone has lost their damn minds in the parking lot. I mean, look at this. It's just a free-for-all out there, and... Okay, Winston, how is that helpful? We also get some cool shots of what's going on in each other's cars as they drive. There's a few plot things. Wendy is talking to her husband. Winston is calling his dad. Alex is talking to his sister when the clue phone rings for everyone. Violet has John's phone and threatens to toss it. John immediately...
Here it goes. It's a race.
If it seems like I'm glossing over a few things, it's because that I am. In the time that it would take me to explain what's happening in just one of those scenes, we'd already be two characters down the line, which is the series, especially the first episode's biggest strength, but also its biggest weakness. We're trying to learn a lot about a lot of characters in a very short amount of time, and so this gives the feel that everything is high stakes and very fast paced, but you're also cramming a lot of information into a very short amount of time, so it gets a little bit hard to kind of process what's going on with everyone. One thing you can't miss is Elle's butt, as she looks for the phone in her car. And over in Wendy's, her husband knows she's not where she says she is, and she's getting pulled over. Winston is arguing with his dad for money and decides that he's going to get off the interstate and rob his dad's house. Awesome. Alex is arguing with his sister, and he's getting rammed by Creepy Guy now. So, Creepy Guy runs Alex off the road, and then this lady gets out of the truck bed and hops in. No explanation, just there. Alex decides to ask questions later and take off. Meanwhile, Wendy finds out that her vehicle has been reported stolen, and back to Alex.
Maybe we should get off the highway. No, that's what he'd expect. Let's not lose any more time than we already have. Just keep going. Was this the next clue? Sorry. Corinna. Wiles. And you are?
Angry. What the hell was that back there?
That was, me breaking up with my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend? Yeah, he was trying to kill you.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty sure it's over.
This is Corinna, and Corinna basically pitches a partnership, which Alex ain't buying. But she says that she can solve the clue on the phone, which is...
Again. Fly to Jupiter and find the red eye.
Alright, let's speed this up. The trio pass Riley and Elle and call them losers. Elle overreacts as Riley has a plan to deal with 3 women. Wendy takes off from her police escort, and Vilas is processing her straight-laced dad in an illegal race. And Alex and Corinna are bonding, and they run out of gas. And then the SWAT team has caught up to Wendy, and they find that her newborn is not in the car with her. And that was just the last 5 minutes.
If I walk, the movie will be over.
So, then we get to Winston stealing things from his dad's place when he comes across his half-brother Sean. Wendy gets booked and is finding out her husband is on the way to get her from the police station. Riley's plans come to fruition as he asks some trucker to block the trio in so that he could pass them. Seriously, Drive, you've got to slow down. I'm about to have an asthma attack. We're running through the plot so fast. John and Violet figure out the clue as they're heading to Jupiter, Florida. Oh, and before anyone asks, this is well before GPS was a normal thing, so that's why they just don't punch it in. Meanwhile, Sean thinks Winston is a home invader and is ready to shoot. It goes well. Sean doesn't understand what he means by brother, so he has to spell it out. Winston doesn't really want to hurt him, so he puts the gun aside and tries to run out, but Sean...
I don't have a brother!
Because this worked so well the first time. Alex and Corinna are at the gas station, getting the truck running again. Alex had just about enough of her. He tells her that he was going to play along with the race, but he doesn't have to play along with her. And that's when she says...
It's a lighthouse. The Red Eye is a lighthouse in Jupiter, just up the coast, past West Palm. That's where we're going.
Why'd you just give that up?
I didn't give it up. I'm trading it for a little trust.
You have to pee, don't you?
Like a racehorse. But I want you to be here when I get back.
It's good to see that we're getting some of that Nathan Fillion charm, because as the show goes on, you're going to get more and more of it, and that's really a good thing. Corinna goes inside. Creepy guy shows up and follows her in. He's looking for something when Alex comes to the rescue.
You really are handy with that wrench.
That was not funny.
And just like that, Alex doesn't trust Corinna again, and threatens just to stay here and ask him questions. Corinna blurts out,
Hey! He's not my boyfriend. He was never my partner. He's not even in the race. He works for them.
Back to the Salazar boys. They're calling their father. Winston basically is saying everything so he can trick his dad and prove that he is actually Sean's brother, and Sean doesn't take it too well. The two bond over the fact that they kind of hate their dad, and honestly, this scene is really a breath of fresh air, and a chance to breathe in general. Winston asks if he really wants to piss off his dad, and, well, we're back to Alex, whose tolerance level for Corinna's fuckery has reached critical mass. He doesn't want to make the people angry that has his wife. Corinna apologizes and confesses that she stole the flash drive with the info on the race. Alex is in full panic mode because now apparently they can get disqualified for having information they shouldn't have.
Well, how do you cheat at a game that has no rules?
I don't know! Missed the orientation.
Ah, the little things. Wendy's husband shows up at the station. They park and, well, this.
I didn't say anything, I swear. You have to believe me.
I believe you.
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Brad.
Oh.
Oh, he works for the race. He tells Wendy that she needs to run along, and...
Try not to be last. It's bad to be last.
Back to Alex and Corinna. They show the agent the flash drive. He reacts, Alex punches him, scene over. Over to Winston and Sean. Looks like they're a team now, and Sean solves the riddle for him, and... Damn it, Winston! The bouncing doesn't help anything! Back to Alex and Corinna. They're heading out and decide to take the agent's car. Or not. And the race is on. Alex and Corinna are back in the pickup against Winston and Sean in the lowrider. They go and try and edge each other out and get the advantage. Alex is showing some fancy driving for a handyman, come to think of it. Just remember that as we're going forward. It's a photo finish. Corinna and Winston argue as to who got there first, but it makes really no difference as there's already a whole bunch of people there. We see our cast and fade to Wendy coming in dead last. And there is, I don't think they ever named this guy in the series. We'll just call him the director. Wendy is worried she'll be out, but the director tells her that she's only gotten a penalty. She's handed a loaded gun and is told tomorrow will be an elimination round. Wendy warily pulls out of the folder pictures of Ivy. And that's where we end. So, the question remains. Where do I start this video? It is appropriate that this show is about a race because this episode feels like one. We jump from one character to another very quickly and do a lot of cheap plot advancement for the sake of moving people along. Violet's so easily on board with her dad pulling her out of school and into an illegal race, the cops releasing Wendy to somebody without checking who that somebody is. The long-winded sidetracks of Winston can get Sean, and the violent mood swings of Alex and Corinna's relationship. That's also excluding the two boring groups of Ellen Riley and the trio from New Orleans. They'll mention that in the next episode, and trust me, we'll get to that. But, even with that, this is still a damn fun ride. Nathan Fillion is playing his usually charming but kinda dumb character, and can snap between the rather serious and the rather funny very quickly. All in all, it sets the pace for the rest of the series. Alright kids, wrap up time. I find it hard to say this is an excellent episode, but it's certainly very serviceable, and it gets you introduced to basically everything you need to and sets the entire pace for the series going forward. So, Limited Series gives Drive Episode 1, the starting line, 3 out of 5. I think I hear the riots dying down. I might try to go make a beer run. Anyway, I'm your boy Kami, and I can't change the world.